Hi everyone, it's Carrie from Live Accessible. If you've been watching the channel for a while now, you probably know that I am visually impaired, legally blind, sight impaired, whatever you want to call it. And today I wanted to talk about what condition I have because it's something pretty rare. I wanted to share about what it is because there's not a lot of people who have it, and also share my experience and what and how I see. So it's called Aniridia Syndrome, and at its core, it's the partial or the total lack of the iris. But it's called a syndrome because it usually comes with more than one medical issue put together in a person. Personally, I have microcornea, I have cataracts, I have glaucoma, I have nystagmus, and both lenses are subluxated. And there's probably a few other things that I didn't mention because I probably don't remember what the doctor said. But aniridia can have a lot of other issues as well. And people can have different combinations of it. Like people can have Wagner syndrome, W-A-G-R syndrome. They can have Wilms tumor. You can have optic nerve hypoplasia, foveal hypoplasia. It could lead to cornea disease. It could lead to scarring. It could lead to a lot of other things. Not everybody has every single thing, but you can have a combination of a few different issues. There's two main ways you can get aniridia. It could either be congenital, that means one of your parents has it, or it could be sporadic, where nobody in your family had it before and you got aniridia. And so in my case, it is congenital. My sister has aniridia, I have aniridia, my brother does not, but he is totally deaf because my mom, when she was pregnant, she had German measles, but that's a different story. And it comes from my dad's side. My dad, he actually used to be able to see. He was legally blind when he was younger, and then over time he lost his sight because of the glaucoma. And his sisters and brothers, all of them have aniridia except one out of 5 children. And it came from my grandma on my dad's side, and she had a sporadic case of aniridia, and she only had a partial lack of the iris, and so she was actually able to drive at one point, but later on as she grew older, she had to start she was starting to lose her sight, and she started using a magnifying glass. Aniridia is caused by the mutation on chromosome 11 on the PAX6 gene, and with each pregnancy where there is a parent with aniridia, there is a 50% chance of the child inheriting aniridia. So it's always 50% for each pregnancy, and it affects 1 out of 40,000 to 1 out of 100,000 people, depending on the part of the world. Just to put that into context, like RP, retinitis pigmentosa, that is already a rare condition, and it affects 1 out of 3,500 to 4,500 people. And so you can see the difference in how much rarer aniridia is, but I'm not trying to compare it. My point is that when I do meet somebody that has aniridia as well, I get kind of excited because, everybody's always in a group saying oh, you have RP too, or you have the same condition as me. And so it's always fun to find other people with the same condition that can sympathize and empathize with you and just kind of have an idea of what you've gone through. Unfortunately, there is no cure for aniridia. There are some treatments that they have tried with implants and things, but as I understand it, they can come with more risk than benefit. And so I've never gone through that. I actually have never gone through surgery. And I was considering cataract surgery, but the problem is when you have aniridia, because of all the other conditions or problems and issues, it makes surgery much trickier. When I was considering doing cataract surgery, my doctor told me, we'll need to have a retina specialist, we'll need to have a glaucoma specialist, we'll need to have somebody doing the actual cataract surgery. And so because when you try to fix one part, it'll put more risk on another part of the eye. Like in the case of my dad, they did cataract surgery on him, and this was in the Philippines. But they weren't able to control the glaucoma, so this is why he ended up losing his sight. And also, cataract surgery, it might not even help that much. So I was like, well, I have vision now. I am comfortable with how I see and what I can do, so I'd rather not risk it until maybe later on. If I lose more vision, I might not have as much to lose. With aniridia, you really just have to treat all the other symptoms, all the other issues like glaucoma or like cataracts, or if there's other problems as it arises, then that's what the doctors have to keep up with. Like Aniridia Foundation, they recommend for children to, check that they don't have Wilms tumor, because this is something that you could get when you are younger, and that is treatable when they catch it soon enough. So it's really a lot of maintenance, or just keeping an eye on how everything is and learning how to adapt and accommodate, which there are so many resources out there. In case you're somebody who just found out that your child or someone you know has aniridia, go and talk to your doctor first and see what resources they can come up with. Each state has a division that actually helps people that are blind. Here in North Carolina, there's the Division of Services for the Blind. And in New Jersey, I remember when I used to live there, it was the Commission for the Blind. So it just depends on your state what it's called. And you can also reach out to Aniridia International. I'll leave their website down below. They have a lot more in-depth information. They have research studies, and they have other resources available for people with aniridia. My son, who is 3, turning 4 in October, he also has aniridia, and he inherited it from me. And so, we just have to keep an eye out for him. And in a way, it being a family problem is kind of easier, because you can help your child adjust because you've been through it. But when it's a sporadic case, it is a lot harder. But, just because somebody's blind or visually impaired doesn't mean that they are not able. It doesn't define you, and you can do so much more than you think you can, or you think that they can. They can definitely succeed in life and thrive, not just survive, but thrive. They just need the right attention. They need encouragement, and they need the tools to do so, like assistive technology. And it really varies on the individual how much the aniridia impacts their sight, because like for my grandma, she had pretty good sight. She was able to drive. I think she probably started out close to 20/20, and then later in life she did go totally blind, but that wasn't really due to the aniridia itself. It was due to her glaucoma. So one of the biggest things that you have to worry about with aniridia is the glaucoma. Always check your pressure, always make sure you're taking your eye drops, make sure you're taking all the treatment that your doctor has prescribed. In my personal case, my vision is 20/800 to 20/600. It just kind of depends on the eye and I guess the day sometimes, and the doctor. So what that means is whatever a sighted or a person that can see 20/20, whatever they can see at 600 feet or 800 feet, I have to be 20 feet away from that. But that's just kind of the medical terminology. But In all honesty, for me, I just need things close. My eyes have trouble focusing, even if it's really big and it's, you know, a few feet away. It's easier for me personally to see something smaller but close to me than something farther and larger. So like, for example, with Windows magnifier, I would rather be closer to the screen and have the magnification smaller than have the magnification bigger and like a little bit further back. And it's just more comfortable for my eyes and I can focus better, though it's not that great for the posture. But it is easier to see. Also, I have cataract, and so that makes things have less detail or be less defined. It's not exactly blurry because when I have seen people try to capture on camera or on the video, like somebody who can't see or is visually impaired, it looks really blurry. But for me, it doesn't always look so blurry. It just looks like less resolution, which I guess it's kind of also blurry, but in a different way. And I can't see people's faces. I can't see their facial expression. But I can hear it, and if sometimes I can see the reflection of their teeth, or just a lot of it is just listening. I can hear how somebody sounds. So if somebody says hi to me, like walking down the street or in a car passing by, I have no idea who you are unless I have memorized your voice. So I always try to get people to say, hi, it's so and so. Otherwise, I just say, hi, and I have no idea who they are. And then maybe sometimes later they'll say, oh, I saw you doing this, and I'll tell them, oh, I didn't know that was you. I can't see if somebody has glasses. I tend to guess who it is by like the shape of their body, their hair color, their clothes. So sometimes, you know, when people change their clothes, I'm like, who is that person? So like in high school, I remember I would figure out what somebody was wearing and who that was, and I would know who it was for the rest of the day. But then the next day they would have changed their clothes and I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? I don't know who that is. So I would have to figure it out again. People with aniridia also tend to be light sensitive, but because I have cataracts, it's actually, I'm not as photosensitive as other people with aniridia. So I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but I still need to wear sunglasses outside when it's sunny, and sometimes even when it's cloudy. There's some days, if you're light sensitive, you also know those days where it's cloudy, but the sun is still so bright, and yeah, I still definitely need sunglasses on those days. One of the hardest things, especially going through school, was the nystagmus, because I can't control how my eyes move. My eyes are always moving to try to focus on something, and I can't really control it, and so my eyes shaking. You know, people didn't understand why it was like that. Kids can be cruel, and sometimes they can just be curious, and when you're not very confident, you kind of, it really can hurt you when they ask, oh, why are eyes like that? It took me a while to really accept my blindness, my nystagmus, my eye condition in general, and be comfortable with it. It was definitely a journey, and I do want to share with you guys that in the future. But now I am at a place, and I have been at a place where actually I'm at peace with it. I'm actually pretty happy that I am blind. It's the way that God made me. It's shaped who I am. And you know what? No matter what eye condition you have, whether you're totally blind, whether you're legally blind, you're low vision, you're visually impaired, it doesn't matter what it is, you are able, and you can do so much more than you think you can. Learn the skills, use the technology, talk to our community, get comfortable, be positive. You can still live the life you want, whether you're sighted or blind. Just have courage and reach out when you need that support. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more videos like this. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.